we look forward to playing another game in VA House on Tuesday, and we will be excited and energized and ready to play. And now our goal is to win the NIT.
12:34, San Diego Sports Leader, the Mighty 1090. So that'll be tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. We are carrying it, right? On the Mighty 1090, 6:30 pregame with some guy named Jordan. Let's say hello to Jim Sterk. He is the athletic director at San Diego State. You noticed
it's Dan Cilio.
Hello.
Whoop.
Hey, sorry about that, Jim. Good to talk to you.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. How we feeling this morning?
A little bit of the cred that's been going around, but and then obviously very disappointed, but excited about, like Coach Fisher said, we have a great opportunity as well. So we've got to focus on that and move forward.
Jim, does the selection committee offer to explain their decision to you? Do they owe you guys an explanation here? Do you seek out an explanation? How does that work from an athletic director standpoint?
I am close to a couple of the guys on the committee, and we'll debrief them at the appropriate time, probably once the tournament gets over here or deeper in where it's not so raw. But I think we started off, we kind of put ourselves in a hole with a 7-6 start, and then had an amazing run. The kids really, played great basketball and were consistent and winning the league, outright, the highest number, ever. So, really did a good job. And then you would have hoped that going at least to the championship game, you were going to get in. And we had, all those dreams and hopes as of yesterday until they were crushed. But the thing about athletics, it teaches you, you don't always have good things happen to you. You've got to work hard and then pick yourself up and move on. And I think Coach Fisher is a master at that. I was talking with the assistants and with Mark Fisher, and Mark was saying, Coach Fish is really good at this. He would have, talked about the 3 turnovers in the last minute and a half, and Coach Fisher is talking about, hey, we have an opportunity to go to New York, and he's creating a vision for the team and excitement for the team, and I think that's what we want to do, is create excitement and atmosphere at the game. And we had an anonymous alum donate all the students, pay the money so all the students can go for free to this game. So he really, he said, I know that the team's disappointed, the coaches are disappointed. I want, there to be an atmosphere there tomorrow night, and so he donated the money so we could purchase those tickets. So great opportunity, and I think we've got no better in the business than Coach Fisher to lead us into that.
Jim Sterk, athletic director at San Diego State. I do want to ask about tomorrow night in a second here, Jim. But it just, in terms of your snapshot right now as to why you guys fell short, I mean, what is it that you heard here? What is it that you've read? This is your business. Why do you think it is that you guys did fall short in the eyes of the selection committee?
Well, as you alluded to, there's been some moving targets and as far as what they value, and I think it appears that this group really valued top 50 wins. And then the losses that we had, finishing 2 wins out of 5 with Boise and Fresno down the stretch, that hurt us. And then early on, the losses to Grand Canyon and Little Rock and USD. I mean, so those are I guess the low points that probably the committee looked at.
Is there a team that's in there that are with a resume who you say, I don't understand them being in and us being out?
You can always look at that and people poke holes in everybody's resume, especially if the bubble, those 10 or 12 teams that are all bunched at the end. And so I think some people with a heck of a lot more experience in the matrix can probably do that, and a couple of them did on national TV, and so I appreciate that, but in the end, it doesn't help right now.
Yeah, I just wonder, because there are 2 different sets of teams. There's Syracuse and Michigan, who are big name, big ticket, if you will, big ticket items for an NCAA tournament. Television is a television show. And then there are teams like Wichita State and Tulsa, who are lesser known programs, but similar resume wise. And I wonder if it's more about the confusion of comparing resumes, or do you feel like, well, they just, they pick some of the bigger name programs from the bigger name conferences like Syracuse and Michigan. Is there one set of teams that got in there, especially into that first four here, that maybe irks you a little bit more than the other?
Well, I think, probably from, the Michigan and Syracuse standpoint, they have more of an opportunity to play top 50 teams, and, at home and have that advantage that we don't have. And what was it, 3 years ago, our conference was ranked number 2 in the country, and so then our conference really helped us. And so you didn't have to win the league. In fact, I think we got 5 teams in, so it's a different set almost each year, and so you kind of, start fresh at the start of the year, and then you see, and we when we were 7-6, and we saw the league wasn't doing very well either. I had, the master Mike May saying, and our coaches saying, we've got to win the league and we've got to win the tournament in order to make sure we go.
The master, I'm sure he's appreciating that. Jim Sterk from San Diego State Athletic Director on the Mighty 1090. Well, what about the conference? This is a low moment here for this conference with one bid. Is it a trend? Is it something that you're worried about, or do you think that this is just an off season for the league?
I think it's cyclical, and it has. I think last year was 2, this year 1. I expect it to get stronger. I know we have a great team coming back and have opportunity, and there's a lot of good young players, and I expect the league to do better. We're also, from an administrative standpoint, we've spent probably our last 2 AD meetings looking at, what are the metrics that we want to encourage people to, how to schedule and how to do it, and getting some of the people like, Matt Soria, that's really involved with Coach Fisher, him involved at a conference level, so that, people can take what we've been doing and maybe mirror that a little bit and grow their programs, and also sharing with the presidents on what resources are being put into the programs that have been successful, and then encouraging others to do the same.
Jim, the game that at least, as I've looked around a little bit, the game that seems to be the biggest thorn for you is the USD game. Any regrets about that game at all?
No, I think we were going to play USD either at the Jenny Craig or at Petco. So to have that opportunity, people thought it was pretty cool until we played terribly. But I think that was part of the maturation of our team too. I think they just showed up, thought they were going to win, and USD put a beating on them, and I think that probably helped them be able to win 16 games in league and perform at that level in league. It was one of those that really helped galvanize this team and kind of a wake-up call that we've got to play better. And so it took them a little bit. We were younger, and a guy like Matt Shrigley was still out. And then they matured as a team and played really well consistently. And so I think that was part of the maturation process. They're 18 to 22-year-olds, and unfortunately, as good as Coach Fisher is and Dutcher and his staff, they don't know always what kind of what team is going to show up. But they do a heck of a job and had another great year. 6 straight NCAA tournaments, and then an NIT, and we want to do what Coach Fisher did last time in 2009 and go to New York with this NIT opportunity.
And the reason I ask about the USD game, it seems like that was the target for most of your fan base, and I know I saw it reported yesterday from our pal Mark Ziegler that the coaches didn't want to play that game, but they were kind of forced into it. Is that true?
No, I asked Coach Fisher, do you want to play this? And laid it out to him, and he was fine with it. I think some of the younger coaches didn't want to play USD at all. but I think that's not a realistic deal. I think I'm one for building the community and building basketball in San Diego, and Coach Fisher feels that way too.
Jim Sterk, athletic director at San Diego State. All right, with that in the rearview mirror, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, IPFT, Indiana, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. I would be lying if I said I was familiar with them. I am not. What are you expecting tomorrow night, and what kind of challenges do you have in front of you now trying to fill your building?
Yeah, so, I think people we're sold out from a season ticket standpoint, so we're giving our season ticket holders an opportunity to get those tickets first. Tickets are as low as $10 to $15 in the chair seats, and then our students have started picking up today at 10 o'clock. So, I don't know what we'll have, but I know it'll be way better than last time we had an NIT. Hopefully it's double that, and that's what we're shooting for. And I think we have a good opportunity to do that because our season ticket base is 3 times what our season ticket base was in 2009, and I think our students are into it, and so and the gift by our alum to purchase those tickets so they can pick them up for free, and should be a great event.
I must admit, I'm a little confused as to I know why a program would prioritize its season ticket holders, but when you have so little time to sell the tickets, Jim, it seems to me like, wow, you're kind of taking a risk here by making the general public tickets available starting tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Isn't that kind of a concern for you guys? Shouldn't you just have it available for everybody to buy as much as they can, whenever they can?
Actually, probably the better way to do it, but we didn't expect to be in this spot is to, have the season ticket holders make a decision before Sunday. But no one wanted to think about playing in the NIT, and we were shooting for obviously playing in the NCAA, but in hindsight, having those so that what's available for public sale once the field is announced, then that would have been a better opportunity to do it. So, you get a little spoiled with 6 straight, and you think you're going, and then you get a U-turn. So, but our staff has worked hard and obviously prepared, and so people could purchase starting online tickets last night. With season tickets, and we just wanted to give them a day to do that because they've been our most loyal fans and supported the program throughout the year.
Are people buying the tickets?
Yes. Yeah, we're
outside of the anonymous donor.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Jim, with that said, tomorrow night at home, IPFT, you have a chance of playing a second home game, maybe even a third, and then there's some travel in New York. Some of these postseason tournaments that aren't the NCAA, you have to pay to get in them, like the CBI, and there's one other tournament out there. How does it work with the NIT? Can you make money off the NIT, or does it cost you money?
It's not a huge moneymaker, but we don't lose money on it either, and we put in a bid and have that opportunity. And going back to the teams that are out there, there's a lot of teams. There's 250 teams that are disappointed today that they're not in there, and so they're looking at buying their way into. Vegas has a tournament, the 16 that they're playing, the CBI, and I don't know, there might be one other one out there, but. So there was a lot of people disappointed about not getting into the NIT too. So I heard some reports and people upset about that. So wherever you cut the line, there's going to be disappointed people, and we do, like you say, have a great opportunity. We're playing Indiana, Purdue, and Fort Wayne, and I had to look at it too and find out what their name was, but I know they play good basketball in the Midwest, so we've got our hands full. And then if we win and Washington wins, University of Washington's playing Long Beach, and it could be either one of those, but we would be hosting that game either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. They don't really set the dates until all the first round games are done, so we'll be ready to go on that one as well.
Wow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I didn't realize they would go head-to-head with the tournament. Being on ESPN3, I guess a portion of your fan base is probably used to it, but I mean, gosh almighty, the ESPN pays for it. Do you have any idea, will this be the only game on ESPN3? If you advance, will you actually be on television?
It depends on what ESPN, prioritizes, because they're trying to build the brand of that ESPN3. So I would think we'd be on ESPN or ESPN2, but I can't guarantee that. That's I think John Skipper makes those decisions above my pay grade.
Mighty 1090. It'll be on the Mighty 1090.
That's for sure.
Hey, Jim, we always let you promote a different program before we let you go here. You want to tell us about water polo, your football scrimmage? What do you got?
Yeah, we've got a lot going on, and our teams are all competing. But I want to highlight our football scrimmage Saturday at 3 p.m. 2 weeks ago, we had a fan fest where we had all different games going on. Football's the main one that'll be going on Saturday, and it should be. They've had a great, preseason, or not preseason, but spring practices and a lot of excitement and going in and following our 10 wins in a row last season. We've got a lot of momentum, so I think we have an opportunity for a very special year. We've got Cal at home. People go on goaztecs.com. They can check out our home schedule, and we're very, very excited about what Rocky has built and the team coming back.
Jim, thank you for the time. Thanks for explaining some of that stuff for us. Appreciate it. See you
all right,
tomorrow night.
Thanks, Darren.
You got it. Jim Sterk, Athletic Director at San Diego State.